It's time to kick it old school, turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back, that's how we roll and roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades to TV shows that ruled, you know we're kicking it old school. MTV playing our favorite jams, moonwalking with MJ, Neon Slam, Ghostbusters gear, we're ready to go. Chasing slasher scenes, fears in tow. Back to the future, hop in the DeLorean. Knight Rider cruising, man, there's no ignoring them. Battlestar Galactica, what a ride. Looney Tunes antics, pure joy inside. Blockbusters ruled, we lined up for days. Video games booted up in the pixelated maze. Movie marathons and popcorn nights, we ruled the screen, living in the lights. It's time to kick it old school, turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades to TV shows that ruled, you know we're kicking it old school. Grab your joystick, the game's about to start. A high-score world, now that's an art. We're cruising on hoverboards, living our dream. Old school forever, we're igniting the scene. It's time to kick it old school, turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades to TV shows that ruled, you know we're kicking it old school.
Today's episode is brought to you by PTZ Optics. Disability upgrade. New Wave Toys and their Replicate Amusements products. GG Retrobox. Get 3 to 5 games from your favorite series, consoles, and game genres delivered to your doorstep every month with GG Retro Box, the ultimate retro gaming subscription box for video game enthusiasts. Use code GRS15 at checkout to get 15% off your first box. And
Boom shakalaka! Hey everybody, it's Tim Kitzer here, the voice of some of your favorite video games like NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. And I'm here to talk to you about Old Skool Gamer Magazine. It's the magazine for retro gaming, and it's exploding. Kaboom! Print issues come out every other month, and if you want to go green, digital options are available. Visit oldskoolgamer.com and subscribe now. That's oldskoolgamer.com. Boom shakalaka! Kaboom!
And we're here. We're going to have working audio right to start. Of course, my Twidget's not Twidgeting right. There we go. Twidget's working now.
Sounds like
let's see if they can hear us. How was your New Year's? 2025. First show of 2025.
It was good. It was good. Thank God it's a new year. Last year, I don't know, man, but this is the year of FU, so it's got to get better.
That's right. This is the year, the decade. Next 10 years of FUs for family and friends. I agree with you there. I'm going to drink to that one.
Happy New Year, Glenn. Go FU yourself.
That's exactly. Happy New Year to one and all. Go FU yourselves. There we go. So hopefully everything's working okay. Hope everyone had a very good New Year's. That's paramount. Everyone had a really good, New Year's, and everyone had a good time. Before we get started, Glenn, we have to go through our chat, of course, and welcome everyone to the show. So, of course, we have Video Game Vegas here. Always welcome. Pliskin's Run. Our resident Jason is here, who is also our moderator here. He's a moderator. I don't know how he gets time. He's like everywhere. He moderates everything. He knows everything. He's omnipotent. It's like Q from the Q Continuum. It looks like we lost Glenn there. He just decided to bail. So hopefully we'll get him back. I hope. What happened to Mr. Glenn? He's gone. Hopefully he'll come back. We have Mike D here. J-Rod is here. Oh, and looks like Glenn he found his way back. Thanks, Glenn, for coming back. Are you there, Glenn? Hello?
I am here. Is that the stream or is that
Oh, you just bailed on us, man. You just bailed.
Me?
Sir Sega, let's go through the list. We have Sir Sega here. Welcome, Sir Sega. Rotundo is here. Happy Friday. PB&J, my favorite Friday show. Goes like peanut butter and jelly, too. PB&J. And Glenn's Retro Show. Glenn Baisley and Kicking It Old School this week. Who else we got here? Vet 1981 is here. Mitchell B is here. Who else we got going down here? JLS Gaming. He's here as well. JLS is a great guy. Make sure you check out JLS Gaming and this stuff. We have RM McCrae 114. Dan Z is here. God, who else we got going down here? Trump or Die. How you doing? Happy New Year and FU to you too. I think we're getting close. The Cornicade is here. Guys, it's Friday. It is. The Cornicade is here. Make sure you check out the Cornicade show. ELO is here as well. What's up, everybody? I think we're getting close to the end here. Papa Bread's Gaming, of course. Check out Papa Bread's Gaming here on YouTube. Goofy Foot is here. Friday Fun and #1 here. Absolutely. Oh, this one always gets me. Free. Oh, this one doesn't hit me good. My eyesight. Brett Burner, 89. Hope I got that right. Can't see too well. I don't have good glasses. MSU Rich is here. Retro Eric is here as well. Bill's Retro Gaming Show. Make sure you check out Bill's Retro Gaming Show. Andy's Game Room is here. JJ is here. And Scott B. We have, looks like a super chat already. I didn't pull this up. We missed a super chat. Let's go back here. Our resident AI moderator, Jason, is here. The hall is rented. The band is engaged. Now let's see what you could do if you could dance. Well, let's see if you could dance like Blue. Over here, let's take a look at Mr. Blue. Super chat, super chat. Where's my Blue? Boom. And we have a couple here. First of all, again, Jason, thanks for the super chat. We also have Stock Jock here. Welcome, Stock Jock. And Obi-Wan is here as well. So I think we'll call the people from that. Thanks, you guys, as always, from joining us. The typical Kicking Old School. Glenn Coles was like, Glenn, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about, I don't know. We'll figure it out when we go. And that just makes this show good because we'll talk about a couple different things. Like right before this show went on the air, Steps Gaming was on. She did a very good show. She was talking about a couple different things. She was talking about the Build-A-Cade FU edition, which we will talk about a little bit later. I'm not saying there's controversy with it, but some people, there's some things that they want. I want to kind of address certain things, including Glenn. Glenn, you had a list for me too. You're like, Glenn, you got to do this. I'm like, hold my beer. We'll talk
see
about it.
If you don't like it, F you.
That's see, the name is just perfect for everything. It's perfect for everything. I want to talk about a couple things here. One, I know, like recently, I guess because Arcade 1-Up has really fallen. Oh, we got another super chat. Before I go into that, let's go back over here. The JLS Gaming super chat. FU, you're cool. FU, I'm out. We'll give you to this one right here. Thank you, JLS Gaming, for super chat.
Fire!
I love Star Trek II: The Wrath of the Khan. I could watch that as much as classic Star Wars, not the garbage they put today. But what I was going to say, Glenn, and tell me your opinion. You know, my arcade, it's been around for a number of years. I've done videos on them from like day one. I've converted them into Raspberry Pi units, started the whole thing, my channel kind of with things like that. But I think they're becoming more important now with other YouTubers is because Arcade 1-Up has fallen so far from grace. There's nothing to talk about with Arcade 1-Up, right? So not everyone's talking about my arcade. And I know that Gen X Grown Up has got a good relationship with them. I tried that relationship with them. I had a good relationship, but they just kind of like fizzled out. That's okay. I still like their products. People like it's garbage, that crap. I like when I watch TV shows and I buy things, I take it for what it's meant to be. My arcade is not meant to be a diehard retro gaming console. It's meant to be a cool little knickknack. You sit down, you play for a little bit, and it's kind of cool, and you put it on your desk. And for that, I think that they're really good. What do you think about my arcade?
Yeah, I've never been really intrigued by them until I saw recently. Well, two things that got on my radar is one is the little handheld, the Atari Game Station Go handheld, which has got the trackball in it. It's got the spinner in it. So I thought that was kind of interesting. The fact that it has all the controls. Their console edition never really excited me. And then I thought it was interesting that which is kind of a weird mishmash, is the Namco Bandai Namco and Capcom crossover they're going to do, which is, I think it's supposed to have something like 100 games that's going to come out in a console of various iterations. So I thought that's interesting, but I'm hearing rumors that it might be a mixture of arcade ROMs and console ROMs. So, I mean, I look, there's a million different ways we could play these things, but I got to be honest. If it's console ROMs, I'm not interested. But those are the two things that piqued my interest. I guess we'll learn more because they're supposed to showcase some of the stuff at the CES next week.
And I agree a little bit. I mean, when my arcade's first machines were coming out, they were NES ROMs. That's what they were doing initially.
Yeah.
And again, for what they were, about $30, $25, $20, depends where you went. They were okay, but I was also okay with gutting them and turning them into Raspberry Pis. So I was okay with it. But the later ones, they started using either arcade ROMs, but also a lot of companies, Super Impulse, a lot of other companies are doing like recreations. And I think my arcade, a lot of people think they used arcade ROMs, but they really were recreated ROMs. But they did a really good job with it. They really did. And I got to say, for me, the pinnacle was the Space Invaders with the pepper effect that they did. I think that's one of the best little consoles that that not only they did, but a lot of people did. They also did the pole position one recently, but they also did, Contra and Street Fighter with a link cable. You got two of the machines and you play them together.
Yeah.
So they have done some really nice things. So people saying, I hear a lot of people saying they're garbage, they're junk, they're this. And I did say they have good plastic. And that was meaning because my arcade, the machines are solid. I mean, they're not cheap, squishy little consoles. They're solid plastic. The artwork, I think they always did a great job with the artwork. They got a good coating on them. They're thick. You can actually peel them off, put them back on, and usually they'll survive it. So I think that my arcade overall is doing a good job. And my arcade, why'd you stop calling me? Why did we break up? What happened? It's all about Gen X Grown Up now. What happened? Anyway,
I saw
Glenn?
they're doing now. They just announced, or maybe it leaked out, they're going to be doing an outrun using the pole position.
It makes sense. It makes sense. So the driving game, they did a decent job with it. So I think I would like to see Turbo. Actually, to be honest, I was more Turbo than Outrun. But I know a lot of people like Outrun. But again, I think they're decent enough. But I think a lot of reason that a lot of YouTubers are talking about that now is because they were mostly arcade one-up channels, and there's just not much to talk about, and they need content. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the YouTuber making content up, and if something's a little more in the news, and my arcade's more in the news, again, I like them. I have they're all in bags. Glenn, they're all upstairs in bags, but I do like them. And in fact, a friend of mine was making these 3D printed bases. So you turn your My Arcades into 1/6 like scale ones with them. So they make, I think I have one right back here, as a matter of fact. Did I move it? Oh, no, hold on. I got one over here. Hold on a second. The heck did I do with it? Oh, I thought it had it over here. This is what happens, guys, when you get old. You misplace stuff. I don't know what I did with it. Maybe I put it upstairs. I must have moved it. But in any case.
Hey, yeah, I'll tell you what I'd love to see them do, and I'd really love to see New Wave Toys do it, because they would really do it right, is I'd like to see a 1/6 scale Spy Hunter.
I would like to see that too. I suck at that game, though. Too many buttons.
Oh, yeah. I love that. I love
at it.
that game. I love that game. It's one of my favorites.
Actually, one of the good things with the new, I'm still waiting to release it for my flight yoke, those additional throttles and buttons. It's perfect for Spy Hunter, but I still suck at Spy Hunter. I'm just not good at the game. I'm just not good at it.
Maybe we'll see an actual Spy Hunter control panel for the FU edition.
Well, Paul right here says Glenn needs to come out with a Your Arcade brand. We did. It's called the Build-A-Cade, and in fact, behind me, right there, I'll start on the right. That is a GRS Build-A-Cade Viper, and it's just running the PC Engine CD of, my God, wow, it is Friday, Castlevania, right? They did a great version of Castlevania. And then next to that is another Viper power. This is both Arcade 3566. That's a Viper running Sega 32X Afterburner, right? So you can do that. But now the one on the left, that's my new prototype. And that's running will be out this year in 2025. That's our 4.3 HDMI screen in the Build-A-Cade running a Viper Venom. That's right. That's running a 3588 in a GRS Build-A-Cade. And, one of the ideas, Glenn, I was tossing around with the Build-A-Cade FU was we would sell a 1/6 scale Build-A-Cade with the Viper Venom in there, right? And you would simply dock it like a Nintendo Switch.
Like a Switch, right.
So you would open up the coin door, you would plug in with pogo pins, it would just kind of sit inside there, dock with the full size, close it. Now you had the full size, then you open it up and you take the 1/6 scale with you on the go. And I really do like that idea. I did. But I don't know if other people would really cared about that. I mean, for me, that's just how I was thinking. You have a 1/6 scale you could take with you to your friend's house, play it over there. You have all the horsepower because it's 3588 chipset. But we decided to not do that, at least not now. Now, there is the future possible plans of putting an internal docking station still. So you could take a Build-A-Cade 1/6 scale and put it inside the full scales FU edition. But again, I'm sometimes over ambitious, and my team has sometimes said, Glenn, we need to focus a little bit more on what's most important now. Because again, we also want to keep the price reasonable. I've said from the beginning, I want the Build-A-Cade FU to be well under 1,000, and we're definitely right now well under 1,000 with everything we're doing in here. And all these other little things add up, and it probably would have pushed it over that. So maybe we'll make a kit down the road where you can still kind of do that. Looks like we got another super chat, this time from Twisted Gaming. Where did it go? I just saw it. I missed something. Why didn't that come up on here? Hold on, I'll make sure I fix this, Twisted, because it's not coming up. So Glenn, talk while I'm trying to fix this. Say something.
Well, I can read it. I see it on there. It's for Twisted Gaming. Happy New Year, Glenn and friends. Happy New Year, and FU Twisted Gaming. That just never gets old.
It doesn't. It works with everything. See if it really comes up this time. There we go. I got it this time. There we go.
You love
Twisted
people,
Gaming.
you hate people, you want to rub it in on how good the product is. FU works for everything. I want
absolutely.
my
And Twisted Gaming.
T-shirt now.
Thank you for the super chat. We'll give you some Cylon love. Love
And
those
one of the
Cylons.
greatest
Classic Cylons.
toys when I was a kid, man, where you could make the Cylon eye go back and forth. Love that.
Do you remember when they had the Viper and the Cylon Raider shoot the pellets? And it was great. And then I think it was a 3-year-old swallowed one and died.
Yep.
And
then they
had to
started
recall all
putting
of
them
them.
out where they were glued in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look. This is crazy. Now we're getting another super chat. This time it's from James Hates Everything. Lightweight payment plan on the Build-A-Cade FU. You don't need to, because unlike other systems out there, it's not going to cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. It's going to be well under $1,000. You don't need to do that, James. We're going to give you, let's see, who we're going to give you tonight. We're going to give you Vader.
You have failed me for the last time.
It's so much better with Kathleen Kennedy's under there. Maybe I'll just always put Kathleen Kennedy. What do you think? I think we'll do that. Let me pull this up over here as well, Glenn. You tell me what you think. So I put in the chat that we, Glenn started another Facebook group, because that's kind of what I do. It's like Pez. So I did a new Facebook group here. It is the official GRS Build-A-Cade FU global fan page. So it looks like we're almost at 200 subs already since I launched it. And if you want the latest news and insights into, people popping up over here. That's my guy in China. Got to hide that. It's probably some secret information I can't let you guys see yet. We're going to start doing it here. And I am going to hopefully, I will have my GRS CES announcement on this coming Tuesday. Pop, look, hide that stuff. Stop. Some CS information on Tuesday. So make sure you tune into my channel, or at least follow in the Facebook group here if you can, for what I'm going to be announcing at CES 2025. I'm going to hide this before my guy brings up more stuff on here that I don't have to show off and hide. Let's get that off screen right now. Boom. What do you think, Glenn? What do you think I'm going to announce? What do you think I'm going to do?
Well, I have a little bit of the inside scoop, so I can't say, but I'm excited. I haven't seen it. I kind of know it's coming, but I can't wait. Can't wait.
Can you read this, Glenn?
You talk about CES though. What do you? I mean, aside from FU, which I gotta say, and I'm not just saying it because I know you, that's the product I'm most excited about. What other things do you know? What are you looking forward to for announcements for CES?
Before we answer that question, we got another super chat from Mola Metic. Happy New Year, Glenn. And Glenn, there's the two Glens here. The FU can come soon enough. And may I say FU to you all. And with that, my friend, you get some 99 love.
I'm surprised they haven't tried to.
I still got those over there. Let's go, kids. It's taking too long. Get out of there. Yeah, I'm surprised there hasn't been a remake of Space 1999. It was a really good show, and they could have had a lot of stories still to tell.
And I love that toy. That toy was great. That ship.
Oh, the Eagles?
Yeah,
I love the Eagles.
I had the die-cast ones, and I had the big one too. The big plastic one.
The Dinky. I had the Mattel one, but we got a console fanboys here tonight, and he gave a super chat as well. $2. If I can pull it up here. You know what? I want one too. Here's $2. LOL. HNY exclamation point. Whatever that's. What do you think that means? HNY. Horny New York? Maybe. Could be Horny New York. What do we have here for super chat for him? We're going to give him. Well, we'll have to give him a Cylon. If I can. Come on, Cylon. I gotta make more super chat things. I'm recycling them now. Oh, we have Michael B here giving an FU and up yours. Twirling lawnmower. And we're just about to talk about Michael B. So since he's here, we'll talk about it now. Let's just get it out. Let's get the elephant out of the room. Michael B. So Michael B has initially when the Build-A-Cade FU was being talked about, I did want to put a 26-inch screen there. I really, really did. But it's just turning out that a number of things. One, cost. It would have added cost. I'm trying to keep this thing under 1,000. Or actually, comfortably under 1,000. And by going with the Unicode 26 screen, it would have taken it over that. But also the width the width of it would have now made the console larger. And if people do want to make it into a Nintendo cabinet, like a Donkey Kong or a Junior or a Popeye or Player's Choice 10, it would have ruined that aesthetic. And that was primarily one of the biggest reasons for me. I want people who want the option of building themselves a type of cabinet. It would have ruined it. And also, to rotate the screen, it wouldn't have been impossible. We could definitely have done it. But again, it would have added more cost to the mechanism. And it just, again, would have taken me out of my price point. For me, I want to build something here that is really solid, great gameplay, great features, but I want to keep it well comfortably under $1,000. And those are just things that would have really taken it over the top, Glenn. Glenn, you understand? I'm trying to save people money. Michael wants to spend your money. I'm trying to save it. But with that being said,
what do I always tell you? What do I always tell you? And the audience is going to hate me. I always tell you, I don't think you charge enough.
I said the same thing to Shiloh when he raised his prices. So I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying not to do that. But the thing here is the whole point of the Build-A-Cade 1/6 scale and the Build-A-Cade FU edition is that it's your Cade. It's a build your Cade. So, Michael, if you do want a 26-inch screen, I guarantee you there will be ways to put a 26-inch Unico into the Build-A-Cade FU edition. But that's not my primary goal to get this to market, right? I got to make sure I have something that I can comfortably get in people's hands at a good price point. But if people want a 26-inch screen, I guarantee there's going to be a way to do it. We have a lot of partners involved. We have X-99vLiveds Arcade. We have Do-It-Yourself Retro Arcade. We have Joe Sabo's Arcades. We have Arcade Graphics. We have Escape Pod. We have all these different people involved, Arcade, that are going to be doing from wood to bare metal to electronics to everything else. But I have to get the basic thing in your hands first. I'm giving you the Tonka toy set, the Erector set, the Lego set with a certain number of pieces. But I don't expect anyone to really stop there. I expect people to take it and make it your own. But I want you to have the best controllers, best screen, best technology, best SBC, and I want to take what iArcade did. iArcade gave a really good wood cabinet. They did. I want to build and better that. And I want to get it at a price that is more than reasonable. What do you think about that, Glenn?
Well, I mean, again, too, to go with the larger monitor, it would have actually, like you'd said before, it would have kind of taken away from if people wanted to go with a traditional cabinet size, you probably would have had to make that cabinet larger and added to the weight, and it's added to the cost, like you said, the cost and the shipping. And Michael B, it's like already it costs you like $1 million to ship things to Canada. You want it cost efficient,
right? And that's the thing too. We're reaching out to a large number of different people on different ways to ship it. Okay, so I want to let you guys know now that the original concept I had was all flat pack. It's a Build-A-Cade, right? You build it yourself. And then my team was like, they want to ship the thing complete. They're like, no, let's just ship the thing built. I'm like, well, that's going to be a huge cost. So we kind of went back and forth. And our last conversation is perhaps what we're going to do is the base of the unit as a flat pack, but the main unit, which houses the rotatable screen, the SBC, all the electronics, maybe we should ship that as a pre-built unit. I have no problem building it. And I'm sure most people would not have a problem building it, but maybe some people would. And maybe people find that too daunting. So again, we're trying to find out what's the best way to ship it to the end users, but also at the right price point. So it may come to you partially assembled if it turns out that price-wise, it's about the same and it would make the end user experience a little bit better, not having to, put the screen on. I mean, even the screen, the parts are mostly together. It's not like, you're sitting there with putting together those old 3D printers. You have like 5,000 screws. But maybe some people find it a little too daunting. So we're thinking about it. And Glenn, I'm going to ask your opinion 1 second, but really quick. Trump or Die did a $5 super chat. I'm going to have to sell some of my iArcades to make room for the FU. No, man, just move a kid out of a room. Just move a kid out of a room. I think that Vader would agree.
I'm selling some of my arcade one-ups in big room for it. They're going.
Well, that's okay. You're giving us arcade one-ups.
Actually, one of my games is probably going to go too.
And we also have Twisted Gaming again. To all the super chats, F you in your face. That's right. That's right. Blue likes that one.
And the great thing, though, is that it does ship flat pack. I know somebody that lives about 6 minutes away from me that can come help me build it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Same with Bill's Retro Gaming Show. He's close to us too. But that's the thing too. And I see Brooklyn Menace also joined. You got to make sure you guys subscribe to Brooklyn Menace. He's got a great channel over there. And I want to thank everyone who's done the super chats. I never really asked for super chats. It's not necessary. I'm not here for that. But Glenn, like I said, it's pretty close to me. So we go over each other's houses once in a while. And I value Glenn's opinion on a lot of things. Unless I don't, and then I tell him no. But but the honest thing here is when I get the unit, Glenn, I want you to come over, and then because you're tall, how tall are you?
6'2".
6'2". I'm only 5'8". So I want your perspective on the machine. And just so you guys know, with the design you're seeing right here is our alpha prototype. Okay, we're just doing this as the proof of concept to show that we can do it, showing that the screen rotation will work, that the controls are going to work, that the hood for the Nintendo cabinet works, that it works with the Pixel-Cade, it works with the LCD panel. We got to just make sure everything's working, okay? So there's probably going to be some design changes, but some people may say, like Glenn, not this Glenn, but that Glenn may say, the hood's in the way and I can't see the screen. We're going to be doing adjustments to this, but ultimately we want to make sure no matter what we do, it'll be easy if we want to turn it into a Nintendo-style cabinet. That's paramount. That's got to stay. I know a lot of people want to have next to their home arcades a Nintendo-style cabinet. So that, no matter what we do, that's got to survive whatever changes we make. But I did have some people reach out, so great suggestions. I've had a lot of great suggestions, and I don't take it lightly. People send me stuff. I really value their opinions, but I also have a vision myself on what I want to create, and I want to release that, but then you guys can make the changes. You guys can do those type of things. You can reach out and have other parts made to because people are like, I want different style, I want this cabinet. I can't do that. People think I'm a big company. We're not. We're a very small company, but we're a skunk works of a very large company. So we have to justify everything we do. So I need to make sure I get my wish list in there. And I'm hoping that what I come up with is some of you guys are like, you know what, for the price? Yeah, I want that. Because we've made, it's been almost 7 years now, Glenn, making product, which is hard to imagine. But it's also a company. And when they deal with me, as you guys know, they're not making money with my stuff. Everyone wants to kill me, except for you guys. But, I want you guys to have a good product. But this is one particular product. Again, I can show you this whole thing, but it's going to be a crowdfunded. We have to come up with our number, all the parts, everything we have to do to make this machine, and enough for them to live a little bit. They have to make some money to survive, and still makes under $1,000 because that's my thing. But they need to see some profit out of this with parts and accessories, and you're selling additional things to continue the GRS line. Because the GRS line, as good as it is, for them, it's not a moneymaker because I don't let them make money. I'm constantly saying, we need to sell at this price. We need to get this out into the hands of people to enjoy it. So that's one of the things I guess is changing in 2025. I'm still going to get those prices as low as I can. But this is something, if you guys do like it, spread the word. That's the biggest thing I can ask for all of you guys. Tell everyone to go F themselves, go FU immediately, and get them onto either the Facebook group or just to my channel, because this is a machine, this is the time where it's going to make or break the GRS line. If you value the controls that I do, if you value the products I come out with, this is going to be the one that's going to let this company, T-Sticks, know that the GRS line is worth keeping around and continuing the product line. So I need you guys, all of you guys, fellow YouTubers, influencers, everything, to spread the word. And I said, after the 7th, CES Day, I'm going to have my announcement, and I'm really hoping that that now gets out there. That's what I need. If you guys want to do anything for me, if you guys support me and what I do for you guys, that's the support I need back. I just need word of mouth for this to get out there so it gets picked up so people have the opportunity to get in their hands. And I'm telling you right now, people like Glenn, you have the Arcade, and you have the control panel, right? And
Actually, I don't have the IRK, but I was
You
going to
don't?
say, talk about support. You want to support GRS, this sort of the last rally cry to be able to order or pre-order your KVM switcher.
right, dude, that's
Down
to
to
the
the wire.
17th, and that is to the
Yeah.
17th. But anyone who uses my products, that hopefully they know the quality I put into it and the thought we put into it, and that's what I need to convey to other people. Because some people go, "Who is this GRS guy?" They keep thinking I'm Game Room Solutions. Nothing wrong with that, I guess. I don't know Game Room Solutions, but I'm not Game Room Solutions. I'm Glenn's Retro Show. We have our own product line, and I just need word of mouth. So if you want to do anything, that's what I need. Want to read this super chat for me? You see it, Mr. Glenn?
It's delayed. Oh, here we go. Off topic. Can we get an update on the KVM switcher pre-order numbers? Are we close to the 200 mark yet?
The answer is no. We're not at the 200 mark yet. I think we're only at about 118. So we still have a couple days to the 17th, but we have not reached that mark, that milestone just yet. Already got 5 pre-orders waiting, Glenn. That's what I like to hear. That's awesome.
Good.
Because I'm telling you guys, when you get this thing, I have the control panel here. It's based off of my Arcade. The gauge switches alone are game changer when playing games. You have those. I know Glenn's got.
Oh my God.
You have those. You have that. Now picture
I have
a
them
gauge
in every
switcher.
one of my arcades. Every one.
Exactly. So imagine
Yeah, once
all
you
the guys.
use it, there's no going back.
There isn't.
And they're
So
so inexpensive too. It's like
they are,
it's a
but they're
no-brainer.
quality. They're inexpensive, but
Yeah,
they're quality.
absolutely.
So imagine
Absolutely.
turning this machine on, picking Pac-Man, and you hear your joystick's lock into 4-way mode, and your screen
that's so good.
all by itself goes like that, and your Pac-Man lets you play Pac-Man. Then you play some Defender, your joysticks go to 8-way mode, and the screen all by itself goes back that way. I mean, how cool is that? I understand people can go like this on some machines and do that. Why should you have to do that? We're in the 21st century. The machine should do it all for you.
Oh, that's it. And as much as I've enjoyed my At Games products, I ended up getting the Mini specifically because I'm like, I just want something with the vertical screen in it. And once I got that, it's like, oh, okay, well, you got to pull it out with a suction cup to switch. I'm never going to change that thing. Never change it. And now it's sitting there, and I'm like, well, I'm going to get an FU. I was like, I have no reason to keep that anymore. So that's going to be going to Facebook Marketplace. And I mean, even once I get this, I don't ever really see me turning on my At Games anymore. There's just no reason for it. I mean, that's the flexibility with the FU is that you can run it off the Viper Venom. I can run it off a mini PC or a full size PC, whatever I want. That's and there's no paywall. That's the one thing. I mean,
there is no paywall at all. No, you could play your friends over the internet. You could play Build-A-Cade FU down to the standard Build-A-Cade to any Legends with the Ultimate collection there with the Arcade. You can do all that. Now, Bill had a question here. How quick screen rotation mechanism? You'll have to see, my friend. I will say that it'll be impressive. I will say that, and we'll leave it at that. Because, again, we're working on the hardware end. We have Arcade team writing code on the software end for the screen rotation. So it'll be very impressive. Yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to have me on their show to ask questions, it's hard for me to be in the chat, ask the questions, and answer them. If someone wants to have me on one of their shows to do that, I'd be more than happy to do that. I'm very transparent. If I answer everything honestly, because there's no point in not being honest, because it comes out. If you're not honest, that stuff comes out in the wash, as my friend Mary used to say all the time. So,
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I own every one. I mean, even before I knew you, I owned a bunch of GRS products, but I mean, I own every one of your products. The only thing I don't own is the IRK board because I never bought the IRK.
You son of a bitch.
The cabinet. Well, I was on the fence, and I finally was going to take the plunge, and they went out of business. I'm like, well, But I mean, in hindsight, I'm glad I didn't because I'm like, FU coming. I'm like, why would I need it now? I mean, so.
Well, that's it. And to be honest,
I know to enjoy them.
For people who have the Arcade and the KVM switcher and the Viper, you probably don't need the Build-A-Cade FU, unless you do want that powered rotating screen and make a Donkey Kong style cabinet. Because basically a lot of what again, we started with a spinner, trackballs, joystick. We built up all these products. The Arcade was a good opportunity to really test a lot of these other things we wanted to do out, and it worked very well. So maybe you don't need it. Now, as far as Jim, the Pacers fan, I guess Twisted asked a question about when is the crowdfunding going to start? Well, I would say try and watch my announcement on the 7th, my CES announcement. I'm hoping I'll be able to answer that during that announcement. That would be kind of cool if I could.
Yeah, but one thing though to kind of highlight that I really am looking forward to about the FU is that something the iArcade doesn't do is the flexibility and the ease of being able to swap out panels. I mean,
Right, and that comes in.
I was going to say that's one of the biggest headaches I found at games. I bought the quad panel. I have the 6-button panel, the 8-button panel, the 50 billion button panel, whatever it is. But the popping those screws out and putting it in and out, it's not that easy to get their control panel in and out. So I've never changed a damn thing. I mean, I still have the quad panel sitting in a box, this massive panel. I'm like, I'm going to put it in there when it's just too cumbersome. I mean,
well, that's what Jason's asking here, and that's one of the things we learned from the 1/6 scale Build-A-Cade, that it's not hard to swap out the control panel, but it's not convenient, right? There's some steps you got to go through to do it. So we learned a lot. Change the control panel in the Build-A-Cade FU edition will be extremely simple. Basically, pull out the USB in, drop. That's going to be how that's going to go. Very easy. Now, Jason's asking, if we plan to make a one-player cabinet, can we get a one-player control panel instead of paying money for the two-player as well? My answer to that is that the standard base unit is going to come as the two-player control panel. We will be offering other control panels, and I would say you can still get the two-player control panel, and we have partners like X-99vLiveds Arcade, and you can get maybe from him just the wood for a custom wood one-player and take the parts out of our two-player and transplant it into a one-player. But the base unit will come with I'm going to call it the Arcade standard control panel. But we'll be offering others. We will have a Star Wars panel. We will have an I'm sorry, I keep saying that, the Ikari Warriors 2 joystick control panel. We will have, even though we have a trackball on this one that comes with the trackball, we're going to offer a Golden Tee style with a 3-inch trackball and buttons for like Missile Command and Crystal Castles. We're going to have a Sinden Target Pro panel. We're going to have a 4-spinner control panel for like Warlords. Oh, and then again, you have the option of still making your own control panel. Not from us, but X-99vLiveds Arcade, Do-It-Yourself Retro Arcade. They will make the panel, and whether you want them to put the controllers in it for you, or you want to transplant your own in there, that'll be up to you. But all you'll need is a single USB connection in, and you should recognize all of your components in there.
Yeah, and that's a great point too, because that's something I brought up the other day. I said, it's bound that people come up and say, well, what do I do if I already have a Star Wars yoke? I don't know that I want to necessarily spend the money buy a whole control panel again. Well, yeah, in all likelihood, 99lives will offer a control panel where you could just take your yoke and then transplant it right into a board, so that you don't have to rebuy the whole product again. Of course, you always can buy the product again. Why not? Sure, good.
That's exactly the point.
It's flexible enough that the fact that you're working with so many other vendors for partnership.
Nope. Glenn froze. Oh, he dropped out again. That poor Glenn. He'll come back.
You have with the mini Build-A-Cade now, that you have people that make the side art, things like that. You'll have the same kind of support for this.
That's the key. The key is you were out for a second. That's okay. We got most of what you're saying.
Oh, sorry.
The key about GRS and T-Sticks is I am not a large company. I am not Arcade 1-Up. I'm not My Arcade. I'm not even Super Impulse or Basic Fun. I'm a gamer like you guys. I'm a regular guy like you guys. But I have the ear of some people who value my opinion, make products, and I have a lot of friends in the community that do great work. Joe Sabo's Arcade, all those guys, X-99vLiveds Arcade, all these other people out there are the best at what they do. There's no need for me to recreate the wheel. I know they can do it.
Right.
And they can take your Build-A-Cade FU edition or Build-A-Cade standard edition and take it to the level that you guys want. So just keep that in mind. It's not that I don't want to take your opinions or I'm shooting them down, because I take everything very much in, and if it's something we can do that fits in what we're doing, we will implement it. We've done it in the past. Yeah. But also, some of the requests are stuff that can be done after the fact and modified. Some people saying, I don't want to spend more money, but I don't want to add more cost to the unit where it's not needed. I want you guys basically to walk out this machine. You can actually walk out to your local arcade, drop it down, and that sucker would take the same pounding that my Zaxxon took back there in the 80s, or a real Pac-Man. That's what this machine is going to be. It's going to be a solid machine for your house. It's not going to be a toy. It's not going to be a quarter scale. It's not going to be a half scale. It is going to be a full-sized, full-weight, 15-millimeter thick wood machine with real locks on it, too. The front, back, there were padlocks on there. So that's what it's all about.
I'm excited too to see what, because there's some great people out in the modding community. I mean, like a friend of mine that, that I talk to almost every day is Nathan Foster. He's done a lot of stuff with his ALP 4K and with his IR Arcade. In fact, he's been hungry to try and get the KVM board. I think he wants to order like 2 of them, because he's been buying up all these IR Arcades and has them in his house. But I'm excited to see what people like him or just other people, Bobby Vu, will do, the modders of the community once they get this, because it's kind of a blank slate. It's a quality blank slate that you could do whatever you want with it, if you want to go in that direction, or you could just buy it as is, or buy the additional control panels and do it that way if you're not tech savvy.
That's it.
I know, Michael B. I always watch his show, and he's like, he goes, he goes, I still have the pinball table that I haven't tackled. And he goes, I don't want to be bothered. I just want it to work. Well, that's the thing. You're going to offer enough variety.
I value everyone's opinion, including Michael B. I know he really wanted that 26-inch screen, and that's what I wanted too. Originally, I was all in for that, and I fought hard for it. But once I really started not letting my emotions do it and thinking about what I was really trying to accomplish, it just wasn't going to fit. But people could still put a Unico 26-inch screen there if they wanted to. I probably would not rotate powered. You'd have to do like Michael B. and other people. You have to pull it out and kind of change it. But I don't want that. To me, is just unnecessary to do something like that. It really is. In my opinion,
going to have a quality screen. It's an IPS screen that's in.
The screen is phenomenal. No, it's be a friggin' great screen. I'm not worried about that at all. Great sound in there.
Everybody always asks about, well, what's the position? How far can you stand off to the left, or how far can you stand off to the right? Do you have any information to share on that yet?
Well, it's a BOE monitor, so you're going to get the same visuals as a BOE screen you were getting. BOE makes very good screens. We were looking at a couple of other ones. We were looking at just IPS screens. There's some good IPS screens, but again, we had a cost, performance, reliability, cost. All those things had to come down, and so we settled on a very good BOE screen that they make. And it's a 1080p panel. It's not a 4K panel, but to be honest, I really don't see a need for a 4K. That's me. I'm an old school gamer. But again, you want to put a different monitor in there, as long as it's an HDMI screen, a BOE screen, you can replace it if you don't like it. And people say you shouldn't have to, and I agree, which is why I'm putting in a good screen. I'm just saying the option is there. No matter what any of us do in life, whether it be on a personal level, a work level, a friend level, a lover level, whatever level it is, one thing I definitely learned in life, it took me a while, so I don't blame other people for not understanding this, you can't please everything. I can only do the best that I can, try and give you guys the best, and hope that you guys at least see the value there and take it further. That's all I can really do. I'm not forcing anyone to do it. If it doesn't crowdfund, it doesn't get made. But at least I know I put the effort in to try and do for the community and give them something that I think that they want, that they deserve. And that's the FU, all of you, in 2025.
There you go. Well, talking about CES coming up now, I mean, I know you're so involved with the community, especially with New Wave Toys. Are there any other announcements that we should be looking out for? Anything else that, in partnership that might be announced for CES?
Before I answer that question, it's Steve M. Right now, I can't answer that right now because we're only looking at this point full units. but we have sold parts in the past. We've parted stuff out in the past, so maybe. But right now, I can't really answer that. Now, as far as what Glenn just asked, I will say that there are, we are working with New Wave Toys. We're working with American Gear Company. We're working with SNK, which hasn't been a secret. We're partnering now with Polycade. But I will say, SNK is a legacy arcade manufacturer. I will say there's 2 other companies that have reached out to us to work with us on some projects, but I can't go into it because nothing's been finalized yet. So I will say that one of them is a huge legacy, I would say NES, maybe legacy company that we're trying to hash something out. And if we can, it'll be freaking awesome. But right now, I can't say for sure because I don't think it's gotten too far from that. And the other one is more of an older legacy than NES, but that's okay. They have good games, so we'll see. We'll see.
Cool.
Oh,
So is there anything,
Mike,
I know we're almost wrapped up soon. Is there anything else you've had your eyes on that you're interested for CES?
I'm going to be honest. I've been so focused on this. I've been working, with our team, the arcade team, which Adam and Jeff are phenomenal guys over there. Between that, working on testing the Viper Venom, the regular Viper, putting them in the Build-A-Cades, the new screen, the Star Wars enhancement kit, let's put it over here, the new little board for the spinners. I don't even know what's coming out anywhere else other than My Arcade, because everyone's covering My Arcade up and down, left and right. I don't even know what's coming up at CES.
I think it's going to be a big year, at least on the software front too, for retro. I mean, there's so many good games coming out. You've got Sega's putting out, they got a Jet Set Radio. There's a new Golden Axe, Crazy Taxi, Shinobi, Streets of Rage game coming out. You've got a new Double Dragon game coming out. So I mean, there's a lot of retro games that are coming out. That seems like to be the big craze, especially with beat 'em ups. So I'm looking forward to that. I have a feeling too. I mean, Atari, I think, has had a pretty decent year with the stuff they've been putting out, except for the big blunder with the VCS shipping those out with an outdated firmware.
That annoyed the hell out of me. It took me like an hour to finally find that damn firmware, but it works great. I still got to do a video on that.
Yeah.
It was annoying.
I just had another update that came out recently that since you've done that, I don't really know what it's changed, but they just had another update. But I'm looking forward to any announcements they may have, because I've been really very satisfied with the games, the retro games they put out. They're them kind of revisiting old classic series and bringing them back. So I'm looking forward to see what they may come out. And I'm curious to see whether or not there'll be any kind of announcement about an Intellivision style like VCS, coming out. I don't know if after the VCS being kind of a muddled success, who knows? I mean, I'm disappointed too. What was the announcement that Sega's like, we're not going to do any more minis?
That is so dumb.
Yeah.
That's
so like
dumb.
gold. That's like printing money. If they were to announce like a Saturn or a Dreamcast mini, that's like printing money. I don't know what they're thinking.
The Saturn, yes, but absolutely the Dreamcast. That
for sure.
is such a beloved console. They can print money with the Dreamcast mini. The Saturn one I would buy too, because I do like a Saturn. But the freaking Dreamcast, they literally couldn't make enough. I'd buy crazy. 2, 3.
Yeah. I don't know what they're thinking with that, but I think we're going to see a lot of small consoles and reams of handhelds this year. I think it's going to be a big year for retro. Bigger than some of the stuff we've seen this past year. But I definitely think on the software front, I just think we're going to see a lot of innovative indie-based retro style inspired games to come out this year, and I'm looking forward to it. I picked up a bunch of like beat 'em ups and stuff, and really cool stuff on this Steam winter sale. I haven't gotten a chance to really play them all, but there's been some good stuff out there.
Real quick, House of Hounds. Any idea when the new boards for the spinners, which is this little guy, will start shipping? I'm hoping in the next week or so. They gotta come from our warehouse over the great ocean to get here. So I'm hoping in a couple weeks to start shipping out. And let me tell you something. It makes, and Glenn, I got to give you yours. I still have it here. Like for me, most games are fine. It's really for like Arkanoid and games like that really makes a huge it's like arcade accurate difference to those games. And for like, you have yours in the At Games Legends using what, you have coin ops in that one?
Yeah, I have coin ops and even just the BYOG, but that's what I was going to say is the biggest thing I get hits on my YouTube video all the time when I showed how to mod it with your spinner and the push pull spinner is that it only worked on At Games because of the way they have their sensitivity settings only work with the V1 spinner, which has been out of stock for a long, long time. So if you had the V2, it was just too sensitive, wouldn't work with it. This will be a fix. So if you have the V2 spinners, which is the only thing you get through GRS or through Amazon now, this little PCB, which is a no-brainer, will let you use any of those spinners with the At Games products if you plan on modding it. And then I guess moving forward down the line, the new versions at some point will have that PCB in it, correct?
Yes, at some point down the line they will, but it'll probably be a while before we include it because, again, it's a cost to us, and for most 80% of the people, the regular spinner is going to be fine. But I'm sure in time we'll add it. But for right now, it's only going to be a separate purchase. It's $6.99 for that PCB. It's not horrible on there at all. So, Glenn, what is your prediction? What do you see this year in 2025? I heard you say before it's the year of the retro gamers. I'm actually seeing the opposite. I think some of the retro gaming stuff is dying. Some of the companies involved are leaving the market. And Basic Fun isn't really doing anything anymore. Arcade One Up, honestly, the dead company.
That's it. I think we're going to see a change in hardware. I think it's going to be more about the handheld. And I think it's going to be more about the software. I mean, I think the biggest, personally, and again, I'm not just saying this, I think the biggest product to look forward to, I think, is going to be the FU. I mean, sure, there's Polycade out there as Unico seems like they're kind of taking a backward step in some of the stuff. I've seen some cheapy things they're starting to put out or looking to put out that I think dilutes their brand. But as far as like big units, I think FU. I mean, dare I say that he who shall not be named, there's a product that he's going to announce, that company's going to announce. But I think it's just really going to be another dig at Arcade One Up, and I don't see it being anything substantial. I'd be shocked if it is. I mean, maybe there might be a good license associated with it, but I don't see the product being anything stellar. I could be wrong, but I'm not anticipating much around it.
And real quick, end of line, Glenn, I know you got a lot happening, but any idea when the yoke enhancement kit will be ready to ship? It might be a month or two because honestly, I'm really pushing the team right now on the FU right now. I want this out. I want the announcement to come out that we want to talk about on the 7th on CES Day. I want to be able to start the crowdfunding and get this thing going. And once that's going, then we can go back to the other things we need to do, like the enhancer kit. And that's my fault. I really want this. I really wanted this, as you know, back in Thanksgiving. It was supposed to be like Thanksgiving time. Then it got pushed to Christmas. But then things happen. It pushed back. I don't want to push back anymore. I want this FU edition, mostly not only out there, but I want the announcement out there because I really need people to spread the word. That's the biggest thing on this. I really need people to spread the word on it. I have a couple of sizable YouTubers as well that are on board to discuss it. But again, the more, the better. It's funny when I constantly see in my Google ads, the news and this. I still see tons of ads for Arcade One Up. I see stuff in there for My Arcade. I see stuff in there for Atari. And of course, I have my own ads that pop up when I do that. But when you're doing an ad, you have maybe this many or this many. But when you have all these other influencers talking about it, you have that many ads coming up in these feeds. And that's what I need. I almost need this almost viral to get this out there to make sure that this really sees enough people to really knock this out of the park. Because let me tell you something. My ideas are not done. I have so many other things, but they're pivotal, I think, on this one. Because we've done the Ikari Warrior Stick, we did the Star Wars, did the Tron, did the spinners, did the gate switchers. We've done all these other things that I spearheaded to make happen. And this is my pinnacle. This is my Thanos. There we go. This is my end game.
You have to show one day on one of your shows. I don't know if you've ever showed it. You showed it to me. Your prototype that you created is a sit down with all the wheels around it. It was like the 4-player. Did you build- it was in
I
your
do have it.
basement.
It's over there. I can't get a
Yeah,
camera there.
you have to show it on a future show because that's, I mean, some of the stuff that you've done or you think about that you've never told people. It's just, yeah, it's really cool. It's like I swear, it's like anytime I go over to your house, I always discover something new. It's like walking into a retro gaming museum.
This is it, Michael. This is it. This is the GRS T-Sticks endgame. We've built up over the past 6 years, and this was always my vision. The things I wanted to accomplish, I wanted to make the best controls out there. I did that. I wanted to make my own game console. That was the original Build-A-Cade. Did that. I wanted a powerful SBC. We got the Viper and the soon Viper Venom. Done them both. We teamed up with incredible companies. We have Sinden. We have SNK. Huge business partners for us. Now, I've stepped up to the full size. This is it. I've heard so many people saying this is what they wanted, and that's what I'm making happen. My team didn't want to go full scale. I'm like, we want to go be the best and biggest out there, and that's what this is. But time's going to tell. If it doesn't crowdfund, that's the end of that dream. It won't come up again. So it's really pivotal on the community, getting the word out that this happens. If you really want the best out there and to continue, because T-Sticks has been a valuable partner to me. They didn't need to work with me. I mean, they didn't need to work with me at all. They could pump out the same stuff everyone else pumps out there. You know, Metacore components, Metacore parts, just good enough to make a quick buck. But that's not what we're doing. GRS is not about, definitely not making it with a quick buck, because we're not making the bucks. But it's about, you guys deserve the best quality items. And we've proved that from day one with the first spinner all the way to now. We've never cheaped out on the parts. We've never. And, you know, to be honest, we were on Amazon for a long time, and we were almost 5 stars. And a lot of time we didn't get 5 stars because someone wrote, I thought it was something different. Why is that my fault that you got something, didn't realize you didn't read the description what it was, you're going to ding me? So our product would have been 5-star rated. We were the #1 gaming accessory on Amazon 2 times in a row. That just tells you what we're doing. But for this to continue, now I kind of need your help. I need this to be, again, I'm not telling anyone to buy one. I'm not saying buy it. I'm saying let's get the word out. That's what I need. Because we are, as much as we believe we're a big community, and we're like 0.1% of the gaming community that's out there. And I want to change that. I want to make sure that you guys get the best. That's it. That's all I have to say, Glenn.
The difference, and I guess as a closing note, I mean, I think the difference where, and all the time I've known you, I see you, and it puts you up, sets you aside or apart from other companies, is that, you know, yeah, you're and so in love with the product that, you know, you're not making a huge amount of money on it, and you know, it's all about the innovation. You could very easily say, "F you." Go buy another spinner if you want the PCB. The fact you're offering $7 to upgrade it, you know, the fact that you're offering you could offer different cabinets. Oh, this is the one with a control panel, and this is the one with the control panel. Buy them all. You know, the flexibility and innovation, I think, is what sets you apart. And it takes a toll because you're not making a ton of money. I mean, sometimes you reveal these conversations to me, and I'm like, you're out of your mind. But yeah, I mean, you got to support it if you want to see it. You want to see innovation, man. This is the time, as a fan of this stuff, get it on the ground level now, because I think it's just going to keep going up and up and up. You know, and you know, the future I think is looking really good. But you know, anybody out there, you got to support it if you want to see it happen.
And
You know, don't just rely on somebody else to do that. You know,
no, but that's to add to this too, because again, more competition breeds better product, right? So
Absolutely.
if anything, my product should tell these other companies, you know what? Stop being like Arcade One Up. Stop giving you guys shitty product and be okay spending $500 for garbage.
Yeah.
When my product gets out there, I want to set that. I want to be that bar that people say it's as good as or better than GRS. You want to be better than me? That's fine. I challenge those companies to do that. I'm tired of coming home with a product that lasts a week and it breaks, or the features don't work. We can fix it in 10 months. That's not what it should be about.
Yeah.
My product line, I want it to be that benchmark. People say, we're shooting for that guy and we're going to beat him because that's going to be better for you guys. And then I can die a happy man. I did my part. That's it. All right, Glenn, it's actually 9 o'clock. Anything you want to say? Except, are you frozen again? Make sure you were frozen.
No.
Anything you want to say?
Did I freeze again? I don't know what. Oh, I don't know why I'm freezing tonight. My internet. Happy New Year, right? And F you, everybody.
F you one and all. The one thing I just want to say is next week, I'm going to have a special guest on. I'm going to have X Arcade on next week. We're going to talk about their X Arcade line of products. They do use some of my controllers in their products. But next Friday, do join, and we'll have X Arcade's team on to discuss, well, how things are going with them, what their plans are, and so forth. That's it. F you all. Glenn, seriously, anything you want to say? We're going to end the show. We're going to end the damn show.
I'm just looking forward to CES and the announcement next week.
Yeah, and don't forget, I'll be doing an announcement. Hopefully, I'll make sure I put a pre-announcement up to say I'm doing the announcement for CES. You don't want to miss it. If I do have that announcement, you don't want to miss my CES announcement on Tuesday the 7th. You don't.
And when it comes out, share it. Share it.
Absolutely share it. Absolutely share it. Tell your family and friends, you know what? You guys need to go F you right now. F you. Tell all of them F you right now. And when they go, what the hell is wrong with you? Say, listen, you need a GRS Build-A-Cade FU edition. Go over and grab one for your family and friends. Because that's the other thing, too. This is going to be something for the family to use. FU, family unit, family unity, family, whatever you want to put in there. That's what the FU really means. Let's talk you want, that's fuck you. But, you know, everyone else, it's just FU. But on that, listen, I want to thank all you guys once again for joining. Do join in next week. We're getting back to doing some interviews. And Glenn, maybe I'll have you on if you want to join, because I'm sure you could probably ask some good questions as well.
Always a pleasure.
But I really do appreciate you guys of all the support you've given me over the years. I can't believe that. I mean, I've been on YouTube about 10 years, but products have been going on since 2018. We're now in 2025, and wouldn't be here with all the support of you guys. You guys are awesome. You're a great bunch of guys. We protect each other. We help each other. And with that, I want to say I thank you. And remember, as fun as this stuff is, even my stuff, I joke around a lot, but the one thing to take seriously is your family, your friends, your kids, your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, your girlfriends. Never take precedence over them. Never forget them, their people, your pets, Blue. Remember, always tell them you love them. Let them show them that you love them, because tomorrow's never promised. But in between those times, go after yourselves and game on, my friends.
Cartridges, hit reset. 8-bit dreams, can't lose that bet. Floppy disks and arcade lights. Pac-Man, Frogger, we're playing all night. Simpsons in the background, neon in the air. 80s vibes, man, we didn't care. VHS tapes, staying up too late. Saturday cartoons, can't wait to escape. Dial-ups humming, we're hacking the code. Was in upload mode. Atari, Commodore, pixels on screen. Living in the future was more than a dream. It's time to kick it old school. Turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back. That's how we roll and roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades, TV shows that ruled. You know we're kicking it old school. MTV playing our favorite jams. Moonwalking with MJ, Neon Slam. Ghostbusters gear, we're ready to go. Chasing slasher scenes, fears in tow. Back to the future, hop in the DeLorean. Night Rider cruising, man, there's no ignoring them. Battlestar Galactica, what a ride. Looney Tunes, antics, pure joy inside. Blockbusters ruled, we lined up for days. Video games booted up in the pixelated maze. Movie marathons and popcorn nights. We ruled the screen, living in the lights. It's time to kick it old school. Turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back. That's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh. lights and art. We're cruising on hoverboards, living our dream. Old school forever, we're igniting the scene. It's time to kick it old school, turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school.